the context is I'm teaching this semester a course, religion in ancient Greece. Religion of Ancient Greece. It's a 300 level CLA course, classics course. It's a lecture course. And the last time I taught it was in the pandemic, right when we came into the pandemic. This was the course that I was teaching when we had the pause, and then we had the second pause, and do we have a third pause? I mean, it was one of those things. It was really disruptive, but so I'm returning to it. So what I wanted to do after reading this book was to attempt to integrate in an upper level lecture course with broad appeal, integrate some of this sort of active learning. I wanted to move myself away from just standing there and talking at them, right? And so just one last bit of context is the way Classics 300 level courses works. It's on this, I guess it's an older Hunter model where they're kind of open, right? So Classics isn't built like a science program where you take 100, then you move to 200, then you go to 300. If you take the 100 level course, you can jump into the 300 level. It's a broader experience. So we get a broad audience there. So it's not just majors. So what I tried to do was attempted to integrate active learning in two ways. First, I wanted to focus on writing. I think writing is really important, but I also think grading term papers is the pits. And I'm not entirely sure what it has to do, what it does, and it shows them, right? And so I've done various things throughout my career, sort of the scaffolding writing process, so they get these feedbacks at the end. But at the end, I'm not sure what that does for these students. Okay, so I always start out my class telling them, like, look, I got this really cool topic, which it's pretty cool, right? I don't know. Anyway, I think classics is pretty cool, but not everybody's going to go on and be a classicist, right? And I'm not there to train classicists, right? So I have to find the sort of balance, the way of getting them, like saying, I have a cool topic, but here are some life skills that we're learning and they make you appealable. So I focus on the writing, but I don't like to grade writing. So what I tried to do this time is in active ways, what I'm doing is in class and at home writing, and this is where the think pair share has been coming in quite a bit. So I've adapted it in two ways. What I'll do in my class, and it's been really effective, I think. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Is I will give them sort of an in-class prompt, a short text. We have a source book, or I show them a picture. I walk them through a text, and then I sort of take it away and I put something else up, and I give them a minute or two to read and respond. And then I say, well, you're going to your neighbor. Here's the question you're going to answer. Come up and write a paragraph in class together about this. And then we go around the room and we sort of have a discussion. And not everybody shares, but what ends up happening, right, is I'm getting more people involved. I haven't been just lecturing, and they're practicing this ability of writing. And I really sort of lay it all out for them, right? And say, like, look, this writing that you're doing is not polished, but this is the process that I go through. And that's what I presented as, something that I do. So I'll do that, and then we'll go on to this. I also focus on group writing in the classroom. I have also done a little bit of, I adapted this think, pair, share. So the idea where you give them a little bit of time to think about, get together, discuss in a focused way, and then broaden that discussion. I've tried sending them home to write something. So I'll use Blackboard journaling, right? And I say, print this out and bring it in. And then, so instead of giving them, so at home, they're thinking about it, they're writing something. I say it's low stakes. Another thing I really do is I say, like, look, you got this A, it's yours to lose. You do the work. I'm not going to, anyway, so I send them home, they write something, they come in, they swap it, and that's what they think on. They write, and I try to model what I'm doing. So it's nothing really revolutionary here, right? This is nothing. It seems pretty straightforward and basic. But what I've started to see is that more people are involved, more people come, more people are talking. I have them do these low stake writing things, and more people actually do them, and it builds up, and I'm very clear about what I'm doing. I'm very clear that this is how I'm, it's not take your time. The last thing I'll say, what all this does is build up. So I said I don't like to grade papers. I don't like to do these things, right? Which is me being a little bit flippant. But what I do have them do, and this is something I got from Xiao Chuan and from Xiao Chuan examples that she has shared with me, is that I've introduced a Padlet project. I know Xiao Chuan is always telling me use Padlet, so I'm listening to her, right? And we're doing a project in which they need to sort of, I've assigned them all a festival, and they need to understand need a festival. I've given them a festival. They need to create a Padlet on it, and I've given certain parameters, but there's a lot of flexibility. But there needs to be some extended writing on the page that will help to explain there, and there needs to be some from each person, and there needs to be some video recording. I've gotten integrated into that some of the research elements. So the place they have to start is they need to go find a collection of ancient sources on a particular festival, and they need to provide a resource to list those for us. They also have to pick 4 articles. There's 4 people in each in the groups. I've shown them how to find articles in our field, and I said you need to pick 4, and all of you need to read all 4 of those, and you need to present those on the panel. But other than that, there's a lot of things. So I've had these things. These students say they want to reenact some festivals. Fine, I said to do that. Okay, and so that's where I'm trying to do the active learning. I'll end with this because I think I'm running out of time and I don't know. But my original intention was to have them all do some kind of reenactment of a Greek festival on the 3rd floor at Hunter on a Wednesday, right? Whenever. All right. So I was going to try to get some money. We have some roasting meat or I don't know, but there will be prayers, there will be all these things, and it would be where we would hang out, because that's the goal of the festival. But they would figure out what parts we needed to do, right? Because Greek festivals, what it is about community building. I mean, it's about the gods, but largely you kill an animal, you roast it, and then you hang out while it roasts, and then you drink, and that's the religious experience, right? And it's really fabulous. So I wanted to give them some of this, but I opted for breaking it into these smaller parts because I'm a coward and I don't want to really figure out how to do this large scale presentation. But that's what I've gotten from this book, that idea, that emphasis on active learning. And what I'm hoping comes away from all of this is that, again, I have this cool topic, Greek religion. And if you want to argue about whether it's cool or not, I'm happy to have that argument. But it forces them to think of these what I guess the book is calling, right, whether they're higher level skills, whatever the language that they're using, and that's what I get to focus on, right? So can they write a paper? Probably. I don't know. Are they going to have to be able to write a paper when they get out? I don't know. But they're able to organize information in ways, and this is one of the things that they can do. And I'm hoping that this allows them interesting ways of engaging with other topics and other content.